Hey, my wonderful divine masculine Aquarius placements. Christina here, Ginger Mama. I hope you are having a beautiful day. I apologize, this is getting posted a little bit late in the month, but this is your November extended Tarotscope. So it's the 13th today. We still have a lot of time left in the month, so I'm not going to leave you hanging, okay? I didn't really channel for you, but I saw this and it made me think, for whatever reason, of masculine Aquarius placements, okay? It's this feeling like you're so like tightly wound, but like in a beautiful way. I don't know. Like you might be having lots of different awakenings right now or realizations. And it's like you're sitting up here, it's like, or you're being called to this month to like look down at this, right? Like at your past, at your connections, and like be that bird on top, right? And really evaluate it and ask yourself, like, am I too tightly tied to something? Or are you getting tied to like a really concrete connection with source, right, that you don't want to let go of, right? So pay attention to that right now. I am going to review what astrology occurred earlier this month before we dive fully into the remainder, so you can kind of get a bead on if that was occurring for you. All right, if you are wondering the difference between masculine and feminine energy, please watch both, see what you resonate with more. Typically, if you are more wounded masculine energy, you are more avoidant in connections, don't bring as much clarity, maybe feeling more imbalanced in sexual energy or more focused on your finances. If you are wounded feminine energy, you are more in your emotions, and more anxiously attached for sure. So check out both if you feel called. Also, your sun, moon, and rising can help you, or your Venus. If you do have a counterpart situation, feel free to check theirs out. I find these readings are incredibly accurate. It's kind of spooky at times, even for me. So, anyways, we're going to get into it. We had Venus and Scorpio opposite Uranus and Taurus on November 5th. So Scorpio energy loves to dive headfirst into things, for sure. But they are fixed and they crave meaningful, like intense experiences. So it might be like this feeling of you're like, earlier in the month, you had some like awakening or some realization or truth, like illumination, the sun here, right? And you were like happy about that awareness and you were like, okay, great, I'm rising up as the emperor. But then there's this feeling too of like you still feel stuck or stalled out. And part of that too is we have Uranus in retrograde and in Taurus until January 22nd. This started on August 23rd. So things like finances, money, and work are really stalled out for those who are struggling to be emotionally vulnerable. And it also can just be a pause inward. Like, are you doing the right thing in your career, finances? So pay attention to that, because if there is a situation, Three of Swords, where you broke someone's heart or you did something that you shouldn't have done, shady behavior, right? Or like you really stalled out a connection, the Fool reverse, and you were like, I don't want it, I don't want it. We're wishy-washy about it, that Page of Swords reversed. This is kind of the call this month to ask yourself, am I going to speak truth and take accountability, or am I really going to let this go? As I cough, clearing that throat chakra, okay? Like, can I do this and I'm going to feel better, or am I going to continue to just say no? And see how you feel in that energy. Really see, maybe tap into with your dreams this month and see if Source is trying to guide you somewhere. When it comes to dreaming, if you're not dreaming yet or not as often as you'd like to, I really encourage clients, I always say, take a calcium magnesium supplement before bed, drink a glass of water before bed. We want you getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, okay? We want you remembering. It will help you dream. Also, ask Source directly in authentic truth. I want to know the truth of this person or how they view me or whatever it might be in your life, others around you. Pay attention to that. Tap into if this is a past life or a current life energy coming in. And the other thing is we really want to not drink or smoke before sleep, okay, if you can help it, which it's totally in your control to choose not to do that. And you will have more clarity. I know many people, especially Aquarian energy, but not just Aquarian energy, like it's a lot of energies right now. Masculine energy is what I should say. Really feeling this call to like tap in with other substances to like connect with the outside realms. And that is completely at your discretion. I know it helps some people on their journey at times. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not holding judgment. However, what I am going to say is I have a lot of people that are experiencing some really crazy trips, whatever you want to call it, to where it's not they're not seeing clearly what's going on, or they're suddenly thinking certain people are morphing into certain whatever, right? And like as this like sunlight, it's like, are you choosing the authentic clear channel, or are you dancing in these other energies? Okay, we really, if you can go to bed sober and have these visions and dreams come in for you, they're going to be much clearer and authentic than anything you're trying to manipulate with other energy. Okay, I just feel like that's important to say this month if any of you are doing that. Okay, it's a conscious choice to do that, but it just feels important. I haven't said that for anyone except both Aquarius placements. I will likely do it for Pisces as well, and I feel like Cancer is like another one. Those three placements, if you have those in your chart too, I feel like there's pressure maybe from those around you to explore in that way. So anyways, we're going to get into it though. Ask yourself too, when it comes to finances, how do you want a relationship to look when it comes to finances, right? Not just passion and sex and all this and whatever, but like, do you have an obsessive need to control finances, right? Or is sex controlled through finances, whether you're being controlled in that way or controlling others? Like, is it this unspoken agreement that like, I'll sleep with you, but then I get money, or I'll sleep with you and you pay the bills? Is that how you're acting or how someone else is? Because that's not authentic, genuine connection at all. It will never work. It will always fizzle out, and someone will always feel uncomfortable in that energy. That's not what we want. We want a partnership where both people are able to provide financial stability, right? Both people are able to provide sexual energy. Both people are willing to, surrender and chase and all of this, right? Like, it's a constant, beautiful loop. And if you really want a feminine energy to surrender to you in some way, right? Which is what masculine energy craves in any body, by the way. We all hold both. You have to get to that place first of understanding your own energy. And so maybe some of you too, if you're pulling back from other sexual relationships, really tapping in with that, whether that be an astral or your own self-pleasure, of understanding these sexual energies and clearing what you do not want. Yeah, Page of Pentacles upright. Many of you, really this question of like, do you owe someone an apology? Do you owe someone a reach out? Are you only giving someone the bare minimum? Are you using finances to control other things in your life? Or is someone doing that to you? So yeah, and then the big energy is on the 8th. We have Mercury that moved into Scorpio. Again, that communication that really seeks like more depth, is asking a lot of questions. The full moon and lunar eclipse in Taurus also occurred on the 8th, part of a 3-part series. Ask yourself, where were you on November 19th? 2020, that was when it kicked off. Was it a dark place for you? Look, it gets dark in here. Then November 8th, it's now, and then it culminates on October 28th, 2023. So this is trying to make you stronger. This is trying to make you more aligned for your future of brightness, hopefully, right? But if you're not following this light, this is so beautiful, this reading, how this is working, and you're not rising your consciousness level by communicating more than a breadcrumb, right? More than the tiniest amount of communication, you're not going to get there. If you cannot be emotionally vulnerable with someone you actually care about, you are going to feel on the floor, energetically done. And many of you are really risking losing connections for good. You have feminines walking away left and right. You have them getting in new connections. So if you have someone you care about and love, now's the time, because I just keep seeing so many of them just moving away. Like they don't trust you at this point. They feel like you betrayed them. They feel like you don't love them. They feel like you're not speaking truth. And look at this. They think you are manipulative or abusive towards them. And you might be feeling like, no, I'm so compassionate and kind, and I see their perspective. Well, they can't see it because you're not communicating it. And by you not communicating it, you might ask yourself, am I putting them in a mental prison? Because you can't just think about something but not do an action or feel it, right? That would be literally abusive to someone. Ghosting someone, running from them, not communicating is a form of abuse. Why do we take prisoners and put them in the hole and like, well, that's your punishment? Yeah, the sun reversed. You punish them by refusing to bring any clarity or see them or love them in person. That energy is harming them. And you're going to start to feel the kickback of that reversal. And by the time you feel it and you want to go back in, they're going to be in new connections and you're going to be in a darker place and be like, oh my God, wait, is this my karma for life? Well, possibly. So really get clear with yourself here, okay? This is earthquake energy. I feel like many of you are like, oh no, shit. You cannot wait for change. You must take action. And if you did not do it especially the 1111 portal. If you didn't take the action to support others who support you and show appreciation for them, we'll see what's coming. But normally the new moons hit even harder. And so let's dive into that, because I know it's the end of the month here. The 22nd, we hit Sagittarius season. We're approaching Thanksgiving. Again, are you showing gratitude and communicating gratitude to those you love and care about? Family, friends, lovers. Or are you just like, no, I show up and I'm nice and whatever. If they talk to me, I talk to them. Like, that's the shittiest vibe ever, guys. That's not gratitude. That is you being in your ego, thinking everyone comes to you, thinking nobody else is worthy of a connection, of a reach out. And you are going to end up around energies, that's all they do to you. They stop communication with you. They give you the bare minimum. They want nothing to do with you. Because that's what you are putting out to the world. Do you understand that? That's what you're putting out. That's what you're calling in. And so you better start asking, can I be more emotionally vulnerable with family, with friends, with others? Can I tell the truth of my journey, of my experience, of how I'm feeling? Because look at this. You are going into a dark place at the end of the month. You guys, look at this. I don't have any lighting, whatever. There's no filter on here. I swear to you, it's just the sun coming in my blinds and my ring light on. I can't make up this shit. All right, well, you have a choice, dark or light. Here it goes. 22nd, Sag season, fire sign energy moving in. Especially if you have fire sign energy in your chart and or a counterpart that does. It's a call to take action. The Knight of Swords, just speak truth. Action, action, action. The 23rd, we have the new moon in Sagittarius. Again, if you're not speaking truth, you're going to be in that pressure cooker. The holidays might be very overwhelming for you with Thanksgiving there if you haven't done this. What I find extra fascinating is on the 29th, we have Mercury in Sagittarius opposite Mars in Gemini, and it sextiles Saturn in Aquarius, right? So this should be progress if you were taking action and speaking truth. You should be feeling better by the end of the month. But understand, especially if you're reaching out to feminine energy that you had connections with, that many of them, they're really trying to get out of their head and out of the energetic conflict with you. They're sick of it. And this Two of Pentacles mirrors this Mars and Gemini with the Mercury and Sag opposition. Because what's going to happen is they're going to look at your communication and they're going to juggle it. They're going to be like, I don't know if I trust this, right? Because Gemini energy is that. It's like many of you, by going dark and light on them, by acting all nice, but then running and ghosting, have made them think, they think you are darkness. And I know you might be like, but I'm not, I swear. They think you're dark and they don't trust you at all. So the question becomes, how can you communicate in a way that they would trust, right? Because Gemini energy, when healed, is someone who's tapped in with both the higher realms and grounded in 3D. So they would communicate emotional truth, right? Vulnerability. They would provide commitment. They'd provide clarity around the connection. They would take an action to see you or speak with you in person. This would be a phone call. This would be an in-person like connection. This would not be some stupid text reach out, you guys. How old are you? Come on. I mean, really, you guys got to start stepping up to the plate here. You are so stalled out. It's like you keep trying to forgive and forget about this, but apparently you're not. And maybe they feel like that about you. They're trying to forgive and forget. And I don't know. Many of you might communicate and not get a response or find that you're on block. Or if they're communicating with you, there might just be this feeling of like, I don't trust this, because I think they don't think it's authentic. Okay? That's what I think this is. Or you might not think it's authentic. And I just feel like some of this, it just keeps coming in. I feel like they think you're dark. And Ace of Swords here. Like, many of them have been shown in dreams, by the way. Your other connections or what you've done. And I don't know what to tell you. They literally, God has like told them to stay away from you because you're that far in your ego. You're that far in your wounded sexual energy. And maybe you're not now. Most of these cards do not indicate third parties or anything like that. I like that. But you're wounded and you're being shy and timid in communication. And they feel wounded. And so I don't know what you expect. You expect you can treat somebody like that and then suddenly come back in and they're just going to be like, yeah, let's rebuild. I love you. Let's be together. Like, no. And so I don't know what to tell you, Aquarius. Like, it's just, again, it's this energy of like, what'd you tie yourself to? What'd you tie yourself to? What beliefs? Are you gonna break free of that? That's up to you. But if you're that fixed, like you're not gonna go anywhere this month. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the Emperor, the Sun. Are you gonna rise up and actually speak truth and bring clarity and bring happiness and joy to these feminines, by the way, who deserve that, right? They deserve peace. That's all they've asked for this entire time. And I think many of you are starting to piece it together, but you're still like acting like they're supposed to bring that to you. Like, absolutely not. They've tried. If anything, you need to be stepping in, nurturing them, nurturing these connections, being patient, kind, authentic, answering their questions. And so I don't know, if you're not ready for that, okay, but I think you're going to exit the month feeling really good if you're clearly communicating. If you released around that full moon, if you spoke truth. But if you're not getting emotionally vulnerable, it's going to get hard. Don't let your past hold you back. Yeah, look at this dark. I cannot, this reading is just blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. Yeah, I swear, you guys, there's no one in my house but me. Like, I can't, there's not even a light on. It's all the sun. Don't let your past hold you back, okay? Believe in the impossible reversed. This is what's going on. You're like moving on from the past. You're like, I'm not going to let that hold me back. But you're still not believing in the impossible. You're still telling yourself all these stories. Well, no, this wouldn't work with this person for whatever reason, or they don't want me, or they wouldn't forgive me, or they would judge me for my past. And you're refusing to trust God and to trust your person. And understand, if you have a divine counterpart and you can't trust that they would forgive you, that's a sign that you won't forgive yourself, and that you would not forgive this other person, and that you won't commit to yourself and to this other person not to repeat the behavior. Right? Right. So I love all of you. Hang in there, Aquarians. I feel like, yeah, a new start is coming, but it's reversed. This is up to you. What are you going to do? You know, this is totally up to you. Also, many of you, massive third eye activation, maybe migraines and headaches happening. And again, this is source pushing you. It's going to get more and more intense unless you do the action that you're being called to take. So I love all of you. My website is gingermama.com if you'd like a personal reading or more clarity. But I think many of you need to stop seeking clarity outside of yourselves and start just going to the core root of the problem and addressing it within you, but more so within connections, family, friends, lovers. So I love all of you guys. I'll see you back next week.